What's your show all about?
Well, Peter, the show is called Ghost Stories of New England, or Local Haunts of this area here in the Salem area. I started the series about 23 years ago. It actually started by mistake. I was interviewing a gentleman in Gloucester who was living at Hammond Castle, and he was beginning to tell me extraordinary stories about this old haunted castle built by John Hayes Hammond in 1926. And it got to the point where it became almost so realistic and so interesting that I decided to go from there, from that story, and film other stories about the local area here, which contain a lot of history.
And how do you get your photos that you are displaying currently? Did you take them yourself, or did you approach you with them?
Well, the photos that I have here are part of a display that I use to promote the TV show. I travel to different locations. Primarily weekends. This year I've been at Salem TV, where I do show the show on Thursday nights at 7:30 and also on Saturdays when it's open here, continuously on 30-minute schedules for people to come in. They see an 18-minute film, and then we channel energy from a couple of antiques. And we learned all this while we were out filming. We're not ghost hunters. Carolyn Abadgis and I, my co-producer, we're basically filmmakers. And the show actually started right here in Salem. The Salem Access TV studio opened up. We started getting some interest in it, so that's what keeps it going. And that's what gets me out here promoting the show.
How does this channeling thing work? Can you explain?
Yes, well, Carolyn and I both feel after 23 years of doing the show that a lot of this has to do with energy in the environment. Let me give you an example. If you're standing in a crowd of people and then you move away from the crowd, you're going to feel different. The reason you feel different is because there's a lot of energy being channeled within a group, but as you move away from the group, there's less energy, therefore you feel less stressed. It's the same thing you feel, let's say for instance, when you go someplace you've never been before, you have this feeling like, I feel like I've been here before, deja vu type of thing. These are strange feelings that people get. A lot of people won't talk about them because they feel like it might be a silly thing to talk about, but these are real things that happen. The channeling exercise that I use right after the short film that I do here at Salem TV is simply to connect with the energy from old items. Let me give you an example. If you walk into an antique store, any antique store, go in the center of the antique store, you're going to feel different there than you would at the front door, because old things impart energy from the past. It's a very normal thing to sense. Most people will sense it, but they won't talk about it. There's a mustiness about it, there's a feeling about it. But what I do here is we have people just kind of get close to the objects that they don't know what they are. They're covered by a cloth or a box. And then the idea is to get any kind of feeling from that object or objects, or even name what the object is if they can. And extraordinarily enough, about 65% right now we're averaging. People are not only naming what the object is or pretty close to it, but they're telling me details about the object from just being close to it or putting their hands close to it. And so I sense really that old things are imparting energy to the point almost where people can almost identify something if they can't see it.
And that energy you're talking about is an actual entity, somebody who had passed away and is currently living in that area?
We don't know. It's an energy that's imparted in an old object that may have been a mix of energies from the past, but it's so strong that it is imparted to a person who's standing close to it or channeling it. By way of channeling, I mean putting a part of your body close to it. And if you want a perfect example of this, just go stand in a crowd for a little bit, and then walk away from the crowd. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's energy.
You have two DVDs currently you're selling. Can you tell us a little bit about these DVDs?
These are actually not being sold. The DVDs are being offered at cost to promote the television series, to get people to comment on them. Not that I ask people to comment, but it gets the word out about the show. The television show actually is funded by contracts I have with TV companies to buy the series. They'll buy the series. I have 18 half-hour shows, and they'll buy the series based on their advertising. And that's where the funding comes for the show. The DVDs are at cost. As you can see, $5.
That's very, very reasonable price.
I'm standing here promoting, and 80% of television is promoting this. And And the shows I do at Salem TV, I have a contract with them. 50% of the proceeds goes back into the station and equipment and things like that.
And some of your films were shown on the Discovery Channel, you said?
The Learning Channel and the Living Channel as well. Especially the segment we did in Gloucester in the Hammond Castle.
Hammond Castle. What's the story with the Roosevelt area?
The basic story at Roosevelt's restaurant, which is down this way at the head of the old cemetery, the old Bearing Point Cemetery, one of the oldest in the country, is that it's been through 2 owners in 2 years. Not because of ghosts, for various other reasons, but while the owners were there, especially Henry McGowan allowed me to film in there and also film interviews there. It appears to be the story of a little girl who keeps reappearing in there to various employees. And we interviewed 5 employees, which are on the DVD, and we also walked through the building extensively. We didn't get anything definitive on the video, but the video was pretty compelling. We did find out, though, that there's a little girl, mother and father buried about 14 feet behind the back wall, the same wall that had collapsed and been moved back into the cemetery back about 40 years ago. That we were able to decipher from the interviews. So we feel that there's a connection there between what's in the cemetery and the restaurant. What exactly that connection is, we don't know. But it imparts energy, and that's what the story is all about. There is a carving just to the right of the front door that was made of a man coming through the wall. It was going to be serve as the last scene to the film. I decided not to use it because the film itself speaks for itself, and we didn't need to embellish it.
Okay. One of the recent additions to your collection here is a photo you said from the Howard Street Cemetery. Can you explain to us what this photo
Yes, if you want to move in here, the Howard Street Cemetery is, let me see.
This one over here, right?
Excuse me. It's the TV coverage. This is a promotion for my TV series.
Oh, great.
Maybe she can see this. I wonder if I have that shot of the Howard Street burial site.
There's one right here. I saw this.
There's one here too, but it's not going to be able to get it too well. Let me see. Which one do you want to get?
That one. What does it show exactly? Can you? Is it boards?
Here it is. Right over here. Probably try to. There's a lot of
A lot of mist there.
There's a lot of mistiness in these photographs. They were taken by Floss Parsons of Salem, and people bring me these photographs all the time. As a matter of fact, the one I missed is right here. These are enlargements, and these were taken at night over at Howard Street. And you can see that there's a lot of energy in that old cemetery. And we're really, we did manage to get a beautiful orb in one of the jailhouse windows. Right there, you can see it right at the top of my finger. This is one of the jailhouse windows there. That was taken by Floss Parsons. She's kind of like my ghost hunter. She goes out at night with a camera and takes all this. Excellent. So that's what we're doing here. Excellent. And I thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Dan Trembley. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
My name is Peter Alachi.
Have fun with that video.
Thank you very much.